What's going on, everybody? This is Macomber Brass. Welcome back to the Commute. This is episode 3. I'm on my way home from the gym. I was out at Centennial High School today teaching some horns. I've been there for about a year now. And those kids are absolutely fantastic kids. They learn quick. And they're always willing to push their musicianship beyond what they think it is, which I think is a skill that is hard to teach. It can be taught, but it is hard to teach. And another skill that can be taught that is either not taught because people think it's not a skill, or because they don't know how to properly reinforce it. Creating confident students that turn into confident musicians that turn into confident people. Part of the reason why I am so pro volume, or just maybe not even just volume, but big sound, pro big sound. I am on Team Big Sound, is because I think you have to have a supreme level of confidence to play with a big sound. You can't be a timid player. And that's something that one of my brass instructors over this past summer while I was marching drum corps really instilled into me. Because I had confidence and I had a lot of power, but previous seasons I hate to say allowed to really use it, but I wasn't allowed to unleash, so to speak. And the end of this past year, I was. And that just made me double down on the way that I teach. And I teach from a perspective of everybody can do this. I'm always, probably about 97% of the time, positive reinforcement, because I don't think today's kids respond quite as well to negative reinforcement or negative feedback without a push. That's hard to balance. Sometimes I just want to smack them with a negative comment. Be like, guys, that was absolutely terrible. And, I do that sometimes. And those land because of the amount of positive reinforcement that I bring in. But I always follow it with, I know you can do better than that. That's why I'm disappointed. And that reinforcement is, okay, I didn't do something to the best of my ability. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability next time we do this. And that, I think, over the last couple of years, and definitely towards the end of this past marching season that I was teaching at Cherokee, was that they became stronger players in large part because I focused on the mental aspect of confidence and removing the timidity from their sound. Because I don't know a single great group that has timid musicians. I know good groups that have great musicians in them, and then several timid musicians, but I'm not here for timid musicianship. removing timidity raises your floor as a musician in ways that technique can't. Because technique is the physical part of brass playing, but confidence in your abilities, even if they're not the most polished yet, is going to get you further. Because I think what happens is when there's confidence, there's more motivation, and when there's more motivation, you work harder. And when you don't feel motivated, you remember the confidence level that you have of, hey, I can do this. And that's how it becomes more of a mental game than a physical. And you can take feedback, and this goes in any setting. I know it sounds like I'm mainly talking about the marching setting, because I think that's where it shows up the most. But if you take this indoors, your ensemble sound is going to change. Your approach to brass playing as a performer, heck, you don't even have to be a brass player. You can be a woodwind. Because now thinking back to it as when I was an oboist in middle and high school, when I started feeling more confident, I got better at oboe. So it's not just a brass playing concept, but most of the medium that I teach in, I don't really mess with the woodwinds much, like at all. Unless I'm doing a visual concept with them, because I'm also a visual instructor with the programs that I'm at. And it's really just a general musicianship comment wrapped in a psychological technique of brass playing. Because you can't tell me that professional orchestral musicians are timid. You can't tell me that lead trumpets in big bands and jazz ensembles are timid. You can't tell me that the percussionists that make up the Atlanta Quest organization are timid, because I've seen them and they rock it every single year. Because they look at you in the audience and say, yeah, watch me. I'm gonna blow your mind. And that intensity, I think people can feel. You know, when you're performing for them, you can feel intensity. You can hear good, but you can feel intensity. I'll use another example that is a favorite of mine in that regard. Phantom Regiment 2024. That show captured me. Because from the opening note played by the front ensemble, it had me. The intensity had me. Actually, even before the opening note, from the conductor, the salute from the drum major, I knew what kind of show it was going to be. Because they carried themselves with supreme confidence. In a way that I didn't see any group rival that season, aside from maybe the Bluecoats, to be honest. Because Phantom really had it going on. And I'm making a short form on this as well to put on Shorts and Instagram and on my TikTok, which if you're not following those, you should, because I do post some different things on there. About why all of this matters. It's short form, so it's quicker and you get the point across, but this is elaborating on that, on the short form content, is that there's just so much that is added to an ensemble, added to an individual player just because of confidence. And no matter how the groups sound, although that does matter, confidence will always be paramount in my teaching. Confidence in the technique, confidence in the music, confidence in themselves as musicians, because that is something that you can't put a price on. And that is something that also carries outside of music. It'll carry into their college education, it'll carry into their faith, it'll carry into their life, it'll carry into their careers. And that is why confidence matters to me the most. It's because it's not just a music skill. It takes time to develop, but once it's developed, it never really goes away. Yeah, those are my thoughts on confidence and why timidity is the enemy. Not just of brass playing, not just of music, but of life. And that's something that I will stand on for as long as I'm standing. Yeah. Be ready for more of the Commute with Macomber Brass coming up soon. I'll be posting those videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday here on out. And that will be the regular routine for the long form videos. And most of the rest of the content on the channel is just going to be short form and packed full of great information. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys everything that I have in store. Like, subscribe, you know the whole deal on the YouTube algorithm and all that. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.